Hi, and welcome to episode 16 of my vanilla playthrough series for Factorio. I'm Icon, and we're going to install a lot of laboratories today. I want to plug in 60 of them and get the science packs we produced last episode finally into a larger scale of production. So for chests you can also control left click to pick up everything inside, or shift left click to pick up single stacks, and that's what I want to do. And I keep messing up, which is what, for I don't know how long, for forever. Whenever I stop interacting with chests for a while, I forget which designation is which, so maybe you're smarter than me. I hope so. Anyways, jokes aside, we're going to install these laboratories in this vicinity here. I've decided already that the bus will end roughly on that height here, and I don't want to get anything else in this area apart from science production, because the coming science packs won't be getting any less complicated in their production, so we're going to need a lot more ground to produce. So I came up with the idea that we're going to let those laboratories dwell over here. I'm just looking for the proper height, so that means this is going to be the outer rim. Okay, there we go. So to begin with, I'm going to assign already a few belts, because I already know what I have in mind, and it's a lot easier to orchestrate the distances between the actual facilities when some things are already set up. Alright, that's a cluster of 10. That's exactly what I wanted. And following a very, very simple setup. We're having in the end, when everything is set up, we're going to have here 2, 4, and 6 different colors of science packs. Right now, this facility only can serve up to 4. Let's check that out. I thought it were 7. Played too many mods, you know. So 2, 4, and 6. No, it's actually 6 for vanilla. Whatever. So that means there's going to be this kind of contraption here too, and that's going to be the intake for the other colors. So, and let's Control C over that, and let's say that's 20, that's 30, that's 40, that's 50, and that's 60. So I don't need to take a single turn here. We can just let that flow right over to this border. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we're taking, wow, 100 strips of belt for just one tour. I'm going to head over to the mall and grab up some more. So this will be a pretty heavy-duty system, and we're going to have a lot of science now, especially since I'm already having 1 science per second plugged in up there. I mean, well, it's going to run dry very, very soon, because the intake of stone here is limited, and once the intake of stone here runs dry, this whole facility up here will also run dry, because gray science packs need walls, and the number of walls is very, very limited up there, sadly. But, well, I'm only procrastinating the dismantling of the starter base because I am lazy. Nah, jokes aside. I'm waiting for robots because I'm lazy. So when you have robots, they can dismantle systems for you very, very quick. And to me, there's simply no reason to torture myself with that kind of stuff. What happens here? So there's no... Ah, silly me. I didn't ever finish this one, so this went unnoticed for a lot of episodes. Well, good thing that I noticed it now. So I'm going to dump a few things there. So it's always like that with this game. You will miss a few things here and there unless you're working heavily with blueprints. In case you're not knowing what blueprints are, basically everything I create when I use Control Copy, or Control C in short, is a oh my god, what have I done? Never mind. Is a blueprint. So that that's the short story about that. The longer story about blueprints is you can pretty much acquire blueprints for everything. You can download them. There's a scripted code you can apply to get the blueprints in your game that you're seeing on videos or on websites. It's a very, very common and powerful system. I deeply like it, but you can't use blueprints except for dropping down something like that, like I'm using here. Without robots, a blueprint won't do no more than that for you, sadly. So also sadly, I've taken a wrong measure with the distances. I keep one tile between the laboratories out of an aesthetic reason. You could make it more compact if you want to, but I'm not too much of a big fan of very compact designs, to be quite honest. For me, they turn boring quite quickly, although efficiency can be beautiful too. It's hard. With sandbox games, it's very, very hard to make definite claims. So here goes. We're going to have one inserter. It's a pain. These systems are always a pain. So as you already might have thought, we're placing down one inserter for every laboratory on this side. Can't wait to have robots. There's a reason why a lot of modders are making robots available very early, because this is just a very tedious task, and I consider myself very lucky to do most of this work on videos where I can mutter about how tedious this work is before you have robots. Jokes aside, there are very, very good mods to include early game robots if you want to have them. Nanobots is my personal favorite because it doesn't only give you the ability to craft robots very early, you just need red and green science packs for that. It also makes them deplete. You kind of need an ammunition for that, and you need lots of technologies to make them actually work well. So it really feels like it could be a vanilla feature already. So let's just see. Just want to make sure that I'm not doing any grave mistakes here. Would be very, very sad about making all these inserters go in the wrong side. Sometimes it just happens. Accept it. Just accept it that sometimes your mind goes poof. Or you're just very, very smart. Then consider yourself very happy. Okay, so I'm only using 2 of these belts because I only need 2 of the colors so far. So there's no reason to drop in tons of inserters now. So the only thing I didn't expect when I started building this whole array was we're going a different way now, but I don't mind at all. Alright, so let's cross that Titanic bus. I'm going to make a larger crossing, I think. Like this. And I'm going to plug the science packs through this gap. All the colors. Or a few of the colors. Let's see. Wow! I'm actually amazed of my precision here. It's a pure coincidence, but a cool coincidence. Alright, so let's do this here too. And due to the accidental perfect aim, it's going to look really tidy and neat. That's That's what I'm talking about. I really think that precision and these or efficiency and compactness really do look lovely, but it's so much work to establish them in a base that I'm most of the time just too lazy. Completely honest with you folks, I'm lazy. This game is so complicated and demanding in many aspects that I don't feel like I want to go too deep into my perfection, into the perfection rabbit hole. So, well, can we do it like that? Oh yeah, at least that. So, here we go. This is a very, very simple yet effective lineup. There's really not much about it, but I think as long as you're only needing to supply 6 colors into one kind of laboratory, things are quite manageable. Alright, there we go. So we can now finally start thinking about new things after I've plugged in some gun turrets on my science production array. So you see here, this is all it takes for 120 science packs per minute. You could easily increase the produced amount, but roughly around 2 to 3 science per minute per second are really enough to finish the game with. It all depends on how quick you want to research. Honestly, it's all a question of your own impatience in the end. So speaking about impatience and such things, we're going to start and research new technologies now. It's time to ring in the age of oil, and I'm going to start today a little bit with plastic technology. Why not? So let's look at them go. You see here, all of them working now. Awesome. The science will rack up here sooner or later, and the next bigger project I have in mind is doing the new science packs for us. So we're researching now plastics, because that's exactly what we need to actually unlock the next science packs. So there's one thing I kept missing out in between the episodes. I wanted to craft a few engine units. Engines are quite demanding, so let's put them in here. Intermediates, there. I just want a production of 1 engine unit per second, and you can see here we will be needing a whopping amount of 14 assemblers to get 1 engine out of this array per second. That's pretty nasty. It's really, really nasty. So with plastics, we get the access to advanced electronics, and advanced electronics unlocks the famous advanced circuit. That's also better known as the red circuit. So people are often referring to these as red circuits, so I will do as well. And we're going to need plastic for them, long story short. And to get plastic, I'm going to need oil wells. Right now I only have this very, very small deposit here, but it's going to be exactly all I need for the time being. I'm going to discover now sulfur processing too, because oil, sulfur, and plastic are 3 things that just go together. They belong together much more, alongside with a few more things that I don't want to talk about now yet. But look at that. Science is just soaring. It's very, very cool. So I'm going to dump the extra laboratories over here. And let's get over there and have fun with our pump jacks. So sulfur processing is discovered. Sulfur is a key component in the production of batteries, and batteries are a key component in the production of robotics. So there's no robots without batteries. That means all robots are more or less, or, well, are completely dependent on the discovery of oil processing. So we also have now access to mining productivity increases. These are really, really lovely, but not that important right now. Right now, really important to me are the research of these packs. Exactly. So I want to have that too. And that's all we're going to research today. Okay. So that was a quick one. So we're now needing for the chemical science pack 1 unit of sulfur, 3 units of advanced circuits, and 2 engine units. So you see, the engine units will be used on more than one spot, and also we're going to need the oil, which we have here. With oil, we also need refineries and lots of pipes and chemical plants. And fluid tanks. That's the basics of this business. So I actually accidentally built the stone belt over one of those oil deposits. So we have to let the stone travel around somewhere else. And I'm going to take the detour this direction because I want to have room for my oil business. So oil extraction is the easiest part. You just take that pump jack and you'd rotate it and decide into which direction the oil the pipe exit is facing, and then we're going to draw pipes. I'm going to draw them like this, and I'm going to create a lane here where they all unite at some point. And now I'm going to do some more underground belt systems, mainly because this saves a lot of room, because you can't move through these pipes. You see, bang. Without mods, you can't traverse through them. There are mods which make it impossible to get stuck in anything in your base, but a lot of people actually consider them cheating. So they are more or less cheating. With oil, you see here the expected resources are varying from pump jack to pump jack. That's because oil has always a different yield per patch, and it gets displayed with a oil combined yield ratio. At the end of the day, you always have to check out how much oil you're actually producing. So we're going to see it like there, and oil itself gets processed into petroleum gas in the basic oil processing technology. So I'm going to do something here. And let's check out. If I'm going to output 50 of those, I'll need 111. So I'm just assuming some numbers right now. If you're not using Helmod, you can also calculate it out of the recipe. But like I mentioned a while before, I'm lazy. So we can basically afford a production of like 22 petroleum gas per second. Whatever might be the case, the program here tells me I can feed around 3 oil refineries with that, and that's all the number it takes for me right now. If you're looking for a direct calculation, you see it here. You process 100 units of crude oil per 5 seconds. That means one recipe takes 20 per second. So it's easy to calculate if you know that you can dispose 20 oil per second with one factory, and then you just need to numbers how much oil per second you get, and boom. It's easy to calculate it on your own, but I really love to use extra tools for those calculations, because planning that stuff is, for me, more fun than calculating this stuff. And I do like calculating, as a matter of fact. So, I didn't bring up oil refineries or chemical plants yet. Why didn't I bring chemical plants up yet? I do have all the necessary ingredients. Lazy me. So, the other thing I didn't bring up due to the lack of stone bricks. So we're going to... Oh man, I thought I had them here. But I just remembered that I went down that road. So I'm going to replace that between episodes because now begins the time where we're in front of a lot of other menial tasks that just have to be done. We're going to produce a smallish amount of plastic now, just to show you how a easy crafting process of that works. And I was quite happy about this small oil patch here because of that. Because oil gets quite complicated in the later stages of the game, but the early game, or the first half of the oil processing game, is actually quite easy and very fun to use. So we're going to make it here. So you see here the raw oil enters here and the processed oil leaves there. The petroleum gas much more. So we're going to put those guys up like this. Leaving a little bit more room, just like so. Okay, let's again... I only have one recipe available right now, but it's basic oil refining. I guess you can already assume that there's going to be an advanced oil refining if there's basic oil refining. So the main difference here is basic oil refining only produces petroleum gas and no other side products. That's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Because the good thing about that, we don't have to work around with the other products. The bad thing, we can't make any rocket fuel out of petroleum gas. And our long-term goal is building a rocket. So what I did here is a very, very typical setup for pipeworks, which I didn't talk enough about. I'm sorry, I rushed that a little bit. So I'm using here as many pipe-to-ground systems as I can. And I used these straight elements to connect these guys like that. It's very simple yet effective. And this system here is very simple because we only have to manage one fluid that goes in and one fluid that goes out. Things will get more complicated when we have to insert or output several kinds of fluids because every unit of pipe can always only transport one kind of fluid. Okay, I'm going to show you. So here, just for an example, I cannot connect systems with different fluids. Just stops from doing it. That's the simplest thing. I'm using a lot of underground pipes, not only because they are convenient to use. It also has another reason behind that, and that's just like belts. Pipes have a maximum amount of distance they can provide a steady supply of, because at some point they just slow down. So the funny thing here is if I cross a distance like this, and if I cross a distance like this, it's a good example for that. So in this scenario, paradoxically, in this scenario, my fluid has to travel 13 tiles in game logic. If I do it like that, the fluid only travels over 4 tiles because the game just ignores the fact that this blank spot here is some spot where the fluid actually also travels. Long story short, the more underground pipes you use, the further you can stretch your fluid network. If you ever run into problems with your fluid network because things run dry, you will notice it when you mouse over here and the amount is not 100 of 100 or such, but more like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It drops over the time. It's no immediate thing. You can just install a pump in between. I can't produce one because I have no engine units right now available. But the thing about those is pumps will, you see here, pumping speed 12,000 units per second. So a pump just takes everything out of that pipe and projects it projects it forward again. This is best used in combination with a storage tank. So so give a thing here. So with a storage tank here, let's say I would store my oil in there, and it came over, and I want to project it over a longer time, over a longer space. I would install some pump in front of it to ensure a maximum speed. There's more about that topic, but I keep it at this point because I feel like that's already enough to digest. So we're having around 25 units of petroleum available, so let's see how much plastic I can craft out of that stuff. Plastic. Boom. So we're going to say 1 unit of plastic per second eats up 10 units of petroleum gas. So I can produce roughly 5 units of plastic per second. So I'll just have rough estimates here. In the future, we're going to do, of course, more precise calculations. But for now, all I want to have is a small array which provides me some of the plastic, because again, plastic is a substance which you can't craft in your inventory. So we are relying on the production of plastic in some sort of facility. So I'm going to, well, no. I'm going to pipe it over here. And if you want to do crossings with underground pipes, you always need to connect it with a straight piece of pipe. You can't do crossings like this. This doesn't connect. It's quite visible. So there we go. I got now the chemical plants, and we're going to produce plastic inside there. Good thing about the position of everything here is plastic needs coal as a product too. Oh well, never mind. I'm going to produce that stuff here. It's just too good to not take it. So we're going to make it like that. Or no, that's bad. That's one is good. So I said I'm able to support like 5 of these. All right. So we're going to get plastic bars here, and then you see we have to input petroleum gas from this side. I'm going to make it like that. I could do it simpler, because at this point I could just pipe it over from there. But I want to show you how I normally connect systems like these. Because when I do it like this here, let's pretend I had a larger oil patch, I could still transport the petroleum gas to other parts of the facility, because I'm also actually not quite done. I want a facility to produce sulfur into, because sulfur is also a very, very important thing. I also used so many underground pipes because there needs to be one red inserter connected to pick up the coal. So that's everything that has happened here in the nutshell. And once it's connected, we're producing sweet, sweet plastic here. Well, I'm going to drop the power poles here. So the only thing necessary now is get a belt and output that stuff. There we go. So there goes our first supply of plastic. Certainly nothing which will get me through bigger parts of the game right now, but it's a good start. So now goes the question for the water. I have a water tank here, but this water tank is connected to the steam power plant. So if I take water from there, I'm going to steal water from my power plant. Sulfur production takes water, so I'm going to, well, I'm going to do that for now, but, well, No. Friends, I'm going to cut this episode here and we're going to produce sulfur in the next episode, because it would be quite foolish to steal water from my power plant, because no water, no power, and I don't want to drain those resources unnecessarily. It might be safe, but it would be a really bad example of practice. So we're going to do a few things during the next episode. We're going to connect more water into the factory. We're going to get closer to the red circuit production. I guess we might be even finishing the blue science packs if I get lucky. But there's one more thing that I want to know. I haven't checked that out yet. So for the blue science packs, if we want 2 of them, we're going to need 6 units of plastic per second. That's a little bit more than I can provide right now, but only a little bit. So that's quite good, but we are going to need more oil to satisfy the set amount of science in the longer term. But the good news, I'm able to do blue science before I conquered any of these extremely far away living oil patches, because that's just very, very far away. With such far away oil patches, I'm actually considering, if I do my refining stuff somewhere else and send trains back to my home factory, because sometimes when sites are so far away, it's actually easier to produce all the things you want to produce in a little outpost off-site and only transport the finished good back into your base. We're going to see how this goes. I haven't made up my plans so far fully yet, but I'm very, very happy with the outcome of today's episode, because we came quite far. I have access to a small oil patch. I have access to a lot of new technologies, and we're going to unlock the next roster of technologies during the next episode, I hope. And blue science packs are unlocking the truly fun parts of the game, in my personal opinion. With blue science, we get access to robotics, for example. Robotics is completely locked behind chemical science packs. So that's the preview. I've done enough of the talking. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Leave me a comment down below if you have anything on your mind. Leave me a thumbs up on the series if you want to support my work, or leave a subscription if you haven't done so already to make me super happy. Whatever you do or don't, I wish you a wonderful day, and see you next time, I hope. Bye-bye.